Jesse allegedly accuses these men of harassment, but some members of his own congregation disagree, like former Bond House tenant Fabian Asensio.
The harassing is just an excuse for, trying to shut people down. Bond has been a nonprofit church for all these years. He's lied and collected a lot of money from that church, from people.
Yes, now here is a actual credible thing. Lying to get money and fucking, defraud people of their money. Yes, this is an accusation that I can actually get behind. And why is this so far into the video? I don't know.
I want to say thank you to each and every one of my Patreons that help support the channel. I want to say, if you want to help support the channel, get this content to more people, hit that Patreon link, or go ahead and subscribe to me on Twitch. Thank you for watching the show and supporting, and here we go.
Guys, I decided to give you a break from D-Roy. We're not going to finish the D-Roy video, even though I have a video. I have it queued up. He literally has said that he's accused me of being trans on one of his most recent videos. And I really want to tear into his ass about that, because I'm going to stop being as nice as I'm being to that dumb motherfucker. But I wanted to attack his fucking hero, Jesse Lee Peterson. Do you know, with Jesse Lee Peterson, there's always been a suspicion that he may be gay. Now, there's nothing wrong with somebody being gay. Hey, you like what you like. It's your expression of your sexuality. Cool. I'm all for you. As long as it's consensual, you are fine. I can't bring myself to tell you not to. As long as it's consensual, as long as it's not coercive, as long as you're not grooming people, then it's fine. Oh, yeah, like nobody's mentioning that. Of course, Republicans want to go against Brown versus the Board of Education. Not only, like, we already have some of the shit almost like they just ruled earlier that, religious schools, what happened to, separation of church and state, where religious schools can get government funding. Oh no, this is going to be a problem. The Democrats need to fucking pack the court. Just pack the court. Have a vote today, pack the court. Call it a day. Just call it a day. Yeah. But yeah, no, like let's get into Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, here's the video. I will warn you this shit right now. This video is made by the same fuckers who just had that chick on talking about how they want to get rid of abortion, they want to get rid of contraceptives and shit like this. This is made by militant Christians or Christian militants, and you can actually tell by the video that's coming up. Let's get into, Jesse Lee Peterson, like he's been getting into. Let's go.
You may talk about the men of Gideon, talk about the men of song. Don't like a good old guy to win. That's no Jerry. That's forward. Cause if it's the man of Jericho.
Like I love like the old soulful like singing songs like that. They're fucking awesome, and I'm not gonna lie, they're fucking awesome. But I hate the fact that I've recently got into the other day I was kind of let's face it, I was horny. Yeah, fucking bully Biden, exactly. And so I was listening to the song Hallelujah. And when you actually think about it, I'm going off topic here, but when you listen to that song Hallelujah, it is literally a song about somebody fucking. And a lot of people don't realize that, but I fucking love it. But it's just like when you get real soulful songs, I just hate that it's used just to push religion sometimes. But let's go.
Jericho, Lord, Jericho, she gets the battle, Jericho,
I'm changed, and I don't have any skeleton in my closet.
You're saying
from
that
the
you're
point that I
100%
changed.
saint now?
I'm not saying that I'm a saint, but I don't do those things.
Okay. So this is a man that said, and I have a video that he says not masturbated in 27 years. I don't. He said he hasn't masturbated in 27 years. Okay, Jesse. Okay.
In the early 1990s, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson began his ministry as a student of Roy Masters, a British-born talk radio personality and hypnotist. Peterson and Masters promoted a similar system of meditation and theology, a system that includes rejecting the Holy Trinity and our blessed Lord's divinity.
So, most of these people know that the Trinity is not in the Bible, right? They have to know that. They're American Christians, no matter evangelical or Catholic, they don't fucking know the Bible. They don't read the Bible. But let's go.
But thanks to the feckless and spiritually absent bishops, Jesse's theological errors didn't keep him from gaining tens of thousands of Catholic...
Wait. Did the man just have a car accident and Jesse's like, what the fuck? Okay. And like, this is what I'm talking about. These are Christians. These are Christians. So like, don't get it twisted. This isn't like some atheist hit piece on Jesse Lee Peterson. But like, yeah, these are Christians.
And patriotic followers. Jesse's draw for conservatives was his commentary against the Marxist group Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, radical, so-called social justice warriors. They were chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops.
Yeah,
when do we
right.
want it now? Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon."
Now there's your beta male. I wonder who's the alpha. Never mind. Let's go.
And people went out and started killing cops and everything.
Exploiting many angry American men's desires for a stable family life, Jesse would directly call out feminists for their role in destroying...
So wait. And this is the shit that I'm talking about. Like with the whole like Supreme Court shit. They really think that this is gonna get them families and shit like that. Oh, the bitches can't have sex whenever they want to, so I'm gonna give me some pussy. Like, no, that's not how this works. Okay. To dinner, yes, out to dinner.
the family as well.
Sexism is a made-up lie, and it's been made up by women who hate men, who hate the family, who hate the unborn child.
The 73-year-old even visited the Church Militant studio in March, when senior executive producer Michael Voris answered his questions about Catholicism.
Did Jesus just rise from the dead in spirit,
But
or did his body come out also?
He was made.
Okay, this is just awesome. This is awesome because this shit is awesome. Like, Christians fighting each other. This is awesome. All right, let's go.
His body count, but I know.
Well, that's a big deal.
He rose in the spirit. That's what.
No, he rose in the body.
Why I want to make that.
But he rose in the body. You can't say he didn't walk out of the tomb on Sunday.
And from what we knew at the time, Jesse was an ardent opponent of homosexuality in and outside the church. And
Like, this just seems like a hit piece because they just didn't like him. Because when did he say it was March? It was March. I'm trying to finish this. All right, come on, let's go.
presented himself as such.
The spirit of homosexuality is of their father, the devil. It's not them, the person. It's the spirit that made a home in them. And it came from them overreacting to some sort of a situation in life, whether it's from someone messing with them when they were kids, or overreacting to an angry mother, because you become like what you hate.
Wait, what? So, Thunder, if you didn't know, Church Militant is like this group of radically militant Catholics. They're radically militant. They're so radically militant that other Catholics don't want to associate with them. That's how bad they are. Oh, no. So if you guys remember when I was on the Hannibal and Monty shit show. They've actually been on the Jesse Lee. Birds aren't real. Yeah. They've actually been on his show. A few people have been on his show. That's like, dude, it's an act. He's not that stupid. He's not like, and they said he's not that stupid, but he pretends like one to play into his base. But conservatives need to believe that black man is not as smart as he is, because it works for them. But let's go.
But shortly after the March interview, friends of his came to us with a different story. These stories first came to light when Jesse's former co-host and alleged decade-long gay lover exposed him. 61-year-old Patrick Rooney has known...
Oh God, like this is like a real hit piece. This is a real hit piece for real. For real. All right, let's go.
known Jesse for nearly 30 years, dating back to roughly 1992.
Everybody know Patrick Rooney, one of the smartest white men on this side of heaven.
The two were so close that Jesse was the minister at his wedding and the pastor at his baptism, long before Rooney claimed any homosexual activities began.
Right around that time, I also had started a TV show. I was doing a public access TV show in LA, and with a friend of mine who had gotten off heroin and wanted to, he asked me to be involved in the show to help other people get off drugs and things like that. So we started a show, and one of our first guests was Jesse and another gentleman from Bond. So we did a couple shows with them. And from that time forward, right after the show happened, Jesse and I talked in the green room, backstage. And right off the bat, he started asking me stuff. Jesse's very forward with his questioning and things like that. So he actually asked me right after that show, are you gay?
Rooney's characterization shows that Jesse allegedly used similar grooming tactics as other homo.
Wait. First of all, Jesse, you that fucking bold, boy, or he's claiming that Jesse is that bold. I kind of respect him for that. Like, you just come off and you know how your personality is, but I kind of respect for that. Why do people keep asking that? Yes, it is. It is. Sorry, it is.
Predators, like Saginaw priest Father Robert DeLand, who asked similar questions when preying on a young man in 2017.
To discover that you have some gay tendencies is a fine thing, because then you don't have to be so confused. Right? Do you feel less confused? Yeah.
Yes.
After Jesse discovered Rooney's same-sex attraction, his relationship with Jesse was taken to the next level. Bit by bit, Jesse began edging him closer and closer to sin.
Once he moved up there to do the show, we stayed in the same house. Jesse would kind of do some things, kind of horseplay and stuff like that with me. And at times he would do stuff where he would like grab me and then we'd kind of wrestle around a little bit.
So wait. Is this what D-Roy be talking about? How he'll wrestle around with other men in his underwear, trying not to get an erection? Okay. All right, let's go.
And I'd feel his, private parts against me. And he did that more than once. So it wasn't like an accidental thing. He would kind of do it. And then I even mentioned it like, what's that or whatever. He would kind of play around and joke about it.
Fast forward to 2005.
Wait. Is that a mic in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm being an asshole.
And Jesse was ready to make his final move.
We did a conference with them called Moral Reconstruction, which is kind of ironic now that we're sitting here talking about something else. It's called Moral Reconstruction.
Wait, no, it's nothing wrong with being gay. Dog, stop. There's nothing wrong with being gay. The lie that you're telling that it's bad and whoever does it is bad and going to hell, that's the problem. But okay. These people, boy. Okay, let's go.
We did that. That first conference was, I believe, in 2005. And we did a follow-up conference in 2006 with them as well. And I went with Jesse to Washington, D.C. For this conference. I was a fundraiser at the time. And so we did fundraising. I was part of the conference. While we were at the conference, we stayed in Virginia, near D.C. So we were sitting on the bed together, and all of a sudden he turned to me, just looked at me, and he said, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And he said it in a tone that was really insistent. And I'd never seen this tone from him before. It was like kind of scary. It kind of scared me. Like what? What do you want to do? I knew what he meant, and then I told him, okay. And at first I'm scared, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm playing along here. It kind of threw me off my game, I guess, in a way. I think later I realized that's kind of something that people do sometimes. It's like the devil works in a certain way by intimidating you, and it throws you off your normal game.
No, motherfucker, you wanted to do it. Stop. It ain't got... Lucifer ain't had shit to do with the fact that you wanted to touch peepees. Like, that's just like, no. You wanted it because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't have said no. That's not how this shit works. If you want to sleep with somebody, you want to sleep with somebody. Why'd you bring the devil up in this? The devil ain't got shit to do with it. The fuck?
And so he said, "What do you want to do?" And he was like, "Okay, I'm scared." And then I told him what I want to do. I mentioned sex acts. You know, he knew about that. I'd already talked to him about that. I was interested in. And next thing you know,
wait, you already talked to him about it, so he knew. So then, it wasn't the devil. You wanted his pee. Like, you wanted it, man. Like, stop it. Satan has shit to do with that. You wanted it. Let's go.
He's ripping his clothes off and coming at me, basically. And I did the same, took my clothes off. And next thing you know, we're fully at it.
So, it's nothing wrong with this description, because here's the thing. It's obvious that they both wanted it. Like, anytime you communicate before the act happens, that this is what you want, you want this, man. Like, dude, like, stop it. You wanted this shit. Like, it's nothing wrong with it either. Like, god damn. I like women. I fucking like women. I love the way they feel, the way they taste. God, the way they taste. That's me. That's what I like. I'm not gonna sit back and say, "Oh no, the devil made me do it." Like, no. I like vagina. I really, really like vagina. And like, for these people, these men who say, "Oh, he convinced me, he tricked me," and I'm like, no, he didn't. You wanted to. God damn. Be honest about it. Be honest about it. Just say you want to try it out. Just say it was what you wanted. But don't. Yes, I don't need some water. I need to taste the vagina. Anyway, just be fucking honest about it. It's nothing that you have to lie about. God, like stop this shit. Stop lying about the fact that you wanted some peen. It's okay. Like, it's okay if you want some peen. It's okay. Like, dude, if your God, who's supposed to be master of the universe, cares about, like, really cares about who pee you touch, and like, even if it's yours, then he's small and petty. Why would you want to pray to something or worship something that cares about, with all the vastness of the universe, he cares about just that? Your God is small and petty. But let's go.
Having, not getting detail here, but basically full-on sexual acts.
Rooney's recollections show that Jesse mirrored DeLand's sexual advances almost identically.
I love you. I love you. I know. What are we going to do? I don't know. No, what are we going to do, really?
Rooney's description shows that after their sexual encounter, Jesse began intertwining his private homosexualism with blasphemy.
After we had just done the first sexual act, and then ever since then, he told me that once we did this, I was born again. This sounds crazy, but this is
okay. Now that's kind of creepy. No, you didn't. You weren't born again. You just got some dick, dog. Like, you weren't born again. You just got some dick. That's it. Like, that's how that works. Okay.
This is the absolute truth. He said that I was born again. He would remind me of that through the years.
Following being born again, Rooney contends that his sodomitic relationship with Peterson went on for roughly 10 years, until Rooney decided to come clean to his wife and son.
My son.
Wait, why do you have to call it Semitic? Like what? Like, people do know the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, because they didn't treat their visitors correct, right? But he sounded like he gave Jesse a good time. He definitely treated his visitor correctly. I mean, like, They know that, right? It's not about how people, like, yes, the problem was they were literally threatening to, like, essay some angels, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was they weren't treating their guests with hospitality. That was a big no-no in that area. But, like, okay, sure. You want to talk about how, like, it just wasn't reproductive sex.
Was really angry. My son was mostly angry at me because he had Jesse on such a pedestal. My son had Jesse on such a pedestal, he literally thought Jesse could walk on water. We got on a phone call, we talked to Jesse, and as soon as we brought it up with my son on the phone call, Jesse denied it. And I said, Jesse, you're a liar. You're lying. You know this. You know you're lying. And he finally came out and admitted to my son that he did that.
Rooney later moved to Florida to get away from Jesse. But according to Rooney,
wow, was Jesse packing that much that you had to move to Florida? Okay, fuck. Okay, shit. Okay, I'm being an asshole. I know I'm being an asshole. But damn, he was that good that you had to move away? Like, I need to move away from Jesse, because if I don't move away from Jesse, then man, I can't run away. I can't run away. I'm being an asshole. Because it's just so fucking ridiculous. This shit is so ridiculous that these grown-ass men literally won't just accept their own sexuality. This is ridiculous.
Jesse couldn't handle the relationship ending, offering him several bribes to get him back to LA. It's typical for homo predators to try and cover their tracks using a cornucopia of strategies.
Wait, what? How? Okay. Like, no, dog. They're just, if anything, they're bi. Leave them alone. That does not mean that they're a predator. If they're abusing his power over these people, yeah, that's predatoristic. But he just likes penis. God damn.
Strategies to shut people up. In the case of Father DeLand, it was now deceased Saginaw Bishop Joseph Sistone, who remained silent on DeLand's abuse for years. While serving as an auxiliary bishop in Philadelphia in 1994, Sistone allegedly watched as documents containing names of up to 64 suspected sex abusers were shredded, earning him the nickname Bishop Shredder among the U.S. bishops.
Now, this is a problem. The fact that there were so many priests that were abusing their power and actually taking advantage of people who they were supposed to be shepherds of, that's a problem. And you know what? That's not cool. And this is a problem where, you would think that the problem is to, like, be harsher and, just be more on the lines of, I don't know, monitoring priests and shit like that. No, the problem is this. The fact that, one, it's the reason why the profession of cops are so bad. When you make it where a profession actually feeds to a certain type of individual, where they think, oh yeah, in this profession I can get away with this, I can do this, let me be this profession. It actually just feeds to this whole idea of, well, these type of people would be attracted. So bullies that were bullies in high schools and shit like that would actually go towards more being a cop, because cops seem to have just these unchecked powers of authority, and that's what some of these people look for. The same token, if the Catholic Church was more honest and allowed priests to get married, the assumption that, priests are supposed to be these sexless, all only for God men, it will disappear, because priests would be able to express themselves in a way where they don't have to hide who they are. But, the bishop that they're mentioning is the PA's grand jury report that discloses the massive pedophiles in the PA. Yeah, of course. And that's the thing. That leads to shit like that, where they, where just like these, let's be quite honest, these predatory people go into this whole profession to basically just prey on the people that they're said to be over. And you don't want that in your church, man. You don't. You don't want that in your organization where people know, well, I'm going to do this because I get to exercise this amount of power, this amount of authority. You don't want that in your organization. But let's continue.
According to Rooney, for Jesse and those loyal to him, the strategy was to bully and silence all victims and witnesses speaking up.
Jesse did throw me under the bus, basically, and other people that did anything like that, and still does. If anybody comes up with it, they'll keep anybody off the air.
You're talking about other victims?
Well, yeah, other victims. And he'll make sure that if anybody talks about these things, calls up his show or does anything like that, they were not going to get through on the show.
Patrick explained how easy it was for Jesse to discredit victims, given Bond's history of seeking out troubled young men.
A lot of the people Jesse brings around him are troubled young men, right? Have drug problems, right? Some of them been in jail. So it's pretty easy to discredit a guy who's been on drugs, maybe in jail or something.
So this is actually, now this is some sick shit. If your audience, if your target of your affection is only to get people that nobody believes, and you use them like to victimize and get what you want out of, a relationship, and that's the only thing that you're doing, that's the only people you're pursuing, yeah, that's some fucked up shit. And if Jesse is doing that, I don't give a fuck if he's gay, straight, bi, pan, well, I guess he wouldn't have a problem if he was asexual. But if you're using this situation if you're using your power over people in any capacity, be it their job, be it their maybe they may have mental health issues that they're looking for you to counsel. Yeah, no, fuck this piece of garbage. But let's go.
Like that. It's pretty rotten thing to do.
Beginning last November, Rooney began writing a collection of blog posts hinting at Jesse's predation, leading him to a shocking discovery.
After I published these articles, I found out from a young man, a very credible young man, that Jesse was fooling around with this young man.
That young man was 30-year-old Samuel Arambula, a more recent...
Okay, so I did watch some of this video because I was watching it on Chud's stream. And this is where it gets really fucking weird. So, yeah, buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, and MBs of all kinds. Watch this shit.
Recent member of Bond and Jesse's latest known purported victim.
I started going to Bond around May 2020.
2020.
This was during the coronavirus lockdowns, everything. As soon as they opened back, they were doing live broadcasted, no in-person church for like 2 months or 2 weeks or something like that. But as soon as it opened up, I went. That was May 2020. Jesse, what he likes to do in the church is he goes around first-timers. He goes around first-timers and says, introduce yourself, what's your name, how'd you find us, where are you here? The first thing I said, my name is Samuel, and I'm here because, you helped me a lot. I went and forgave my mom, I went and forgave my dad, I had a lot of anger, and I just dropped that, and I feel way better now. I'm really,
So here's the thing, this whole thing about you are like that because you hate your mom and you love your mom and hate your dad, it's bullshit, and it plays into the misogyny that a lot of these men are looking for that follow Jesse. And it's just very harmful. But let's go.
growing, and I want to thank you for it.
Among him are 3 other alleged witnesses and victims who also chose to tell their stories. Samuel began his relationship with Jesse professionally, washing cars for him and doing other cleaning work at what they call the Bond House. The Bond House is where Jesse and several of his male staff currently live. And when Samuel began opening up to Jesse about his past, things got personal.
I was molested as a boy, so I was like, Jesse, what do I do? Like, this is weighing heavy on me. What should I do? He said, forgive him.
So so this is the sick shit that like really, really bothers me, okay? So you see it when Jesse Lee Peterson talks about how the only reason why people are not straight is because somebody's touched them when they were a child and all this other good bullshit. So, yeah, it's one of those things where and then he reinforces the shit by the stupid shit that he's doing. But like, let's listen to this story, because like I said, I did rewatch it.
Moments in the past, our relationship progressed slowly closer and closer. I didn't suspect anything weird of it. There were certain times where he began hugging me where I was like, whoa, I've never been hugged by a man. Like, what was this? But I was like, this is, I guess, he would just tell me like, you know, I just love you. So I'm like, okay, I get you, you know, I love you too.
But, much like with Patrick Rooney, Samuel states things went from casually close to mortally sinful.
Wait, what's mortally sinful about two men, like, being attracted to each other? I'm so confused. Okay. Fuck. Okay, let's go. Oh, God, let's go.
So a Friday afternoon, evening, I go to Jesse's house and I am sitting in his couch, relaxing. You know, I'm kind of avoiding the LA traffic at the peak hour. So it's a good deal, and I get to stay somewhere with someone that I respect, friend. So then, by this point, we're already real comfortable with like hugging and all that stuff. You know, just hugging for long periods of time. I thought nothing weird of it. I guess my guard had already been let down completely. So I'm sitting on his couch. He kneels down in front of me, and then he wraps himself around his arms around my waist, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I'm like, Jesse, why?
Oh, okay, dog. Like, can I get some space? Can you give me 3 feet? Like, I'm just like, can you give me 3 feet? Like they used to say to basketball, give me 3 feet. Like, I don't know where these people actually get this thing where, like, yeah, you can say, back up. It's okay. Like, what did he gonna call? Like, oh, okay, I know what he's gonna call you. But still, okay, I don't feel comfortable with you being this close to me, dog. Can you respect that? All right, let's go.
Why are you doing that? He's like, I just love you so much. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I was just like this. So then he starts rubbing my thighs. And I'm like, okay, what is he doing? Like, it's kind of crazy. And then he starts rubbing my genital area. And I'm like, what's happening right now? And then he pulls down my pants. And then I'm like, I'm shocked. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, my face is like, whoa, what the?
Okay, so, and I know some people will be asking, like, and I alluded to it a little bit, but at this point, you got to understand, there are 5 things that happens when you are in a situation where you're uncomfortable. Now, I know people think fight or flight, but there's always also 3 other ones. Freeze, friend, where you actually just like try to reason with them and try to do something like that, or you forget the situation happens. That's when you see people black out. So like I don't discount it, but like, dog, I just, grooming is a thing. And if I'm uncomfortable with something, I've actually had to learn myself, even when it's like not something like this, because thankfully I have never been essayed. But when it's something like this, when I'm something I'm uncomfortable with, I've actually had to speak out. And I put those barriers up really, really early. But some people, when they don't know, and they, especially when they have this person in leadership, it's hard for them to actually say no. And I find this very, very sad. But let's go.
That was happening right now.
From there, Jesse instructed Samuel to go into his so-called meditation, called the silent prayer.
And he's like, doubt all thoughts. All thoughts are lies. Everything Satan is telling you is a lie. And I'm like, okay. But inside it's telling me, hey, this is not good. What are you doing? What are you allowing him to do?
Samuel describes Jesse abusing the supposed meditative state, trying to convince Samuel to ignore the traumatic sexual experience occurring.
It went on for a few minutes. He would get up, walk away. I could hear him. I couldn't see him. Get up. He would get up, walk away. I could hear him get up, walk away, touch it, get up, walk away, touch it. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So then I opened my eyes, and then I'm like, what just happened?
Another alleged victim.
Wow, that's just sad. That is like really, really sad that Jesse Lee Peterson would be using this power like this. And again, this is allegedly. And I'm not covering this as some kind of issue of saying, look at him, he's this, he's that. No, my problem is, like, 1, if they're predators, we expose predators. 2, dude, stop you being a hypocrite. But let's go.
Was Trayvon Chapman, who in 2015 told his friend, now 43-year-old Armand Martikian, that Jesse molested him.
The first thing came out of his mouth, that Jesse's homosexual. And I say, you can't be saying this, like he's all against it. He's a, straight conservative man who, this is like, what you're saying is bizarre, it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, it kind of struck me as a truth. What this guy was saying, he was explaining the incidents, like certain acts that they would do. They had some nicknames. Jesse had nicknames for, say, instead of telling what the act is, he named it oral massage, according to Trayvon.
Armand tried to tell Jesse what Trayvon said, and he just dismissed it.
I went to Jesse. I said, Jesse, I bumped into Trayvon, and he was talking bad things about you. The moment I said that, his first response was, oh, he's on drugs.
Wow, that's fucked up. That is really fucked up. If you think that the first thing that somebody's gonna say, oh, he's on drugs, that's some fucked up shit. All right, let's go.
When he said he's on drugs, shivers went down my spine. Like, uh-oh, aren't you gonna ask what he said about me?
Trayvon has since disappeared. None of the men have any idea of his current whereabouts, though they assume he's still somewhere in LA. After this encounter, Armand began questioning his own relationship with Jesse.
And then I had a flashback. Back in the day, it was such an insignificant thing that it never stayed in my memory, but for some reason, the flashback had when I was in a private counseling, he kind of gestured me, let me see down there, pointing at referring to my, down there as in my privates.
Wait, what? So the drive has really poor anatomy. It's not supposed to be realistic. But yeah, let's go.
Not knowing what it was about, I'm at very late teens at that moment, like kind of got tricked into it, pulled my pants forward where he kind of looked at it. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, maybe he's trying to see if I'm shy. He's trying to help me overcome shyness because I was a little shy, I didn't know what to make of it. I remember saying, if somebody sees us from outside, they're going to think we're gay, I said. Later, I looked back, thought that the fact that I said if somebody sees us, they're going to think we're gay, he kind of probably thought that, okay, he's too aware, I'm not going to advance any longer.
Former Bond House manager, 50-year-old Robert Santner, alleges he witnessed similarly strange behavior in 2021 between Jesse and current Bond producer James Hake.
Now, here's the fun part about it. Hake is basically a Nazi. Like, let's just be honest. If you saw any conversation that Hake has, he's basically a Nazi. And it's just like, wow, Hake? For real? For real, dog. You for real? Okay. All right, Hake. Okay, let's go.
I witnessed him and Jesse were hugging each other intensely, rubbing each other's shoulder down stuff, and he came to a point where I actually saw him kissing him on the cheek and stuff, on the hallway, and talking all kinds. I can't remember what the words he said, but there were a lot of giggling in the hallway in his James room. And then there was even one time that just really shocked the living hell out of me, is I went to the laundry room and stuff. After I took the laundry out, and then when I got out, and there was a door open in Jesse's room, and there I saw Jesse was sitting in the bed, and while James Hake was wrapped around bed sheets.
I mean, this does not look good. This does not look good at all. Does not look good at all. I don't know what else to say, but okay, Hake, okay.
Completely around like a burrito with his head sticking out. And Jesse was like embracing him and hugging him and stuff, and then kissing him on the forehead. And I was like, hey, are you all right?
Hake, to this day, is an ardent defender of Jesse and his ministry, essentially helping him ostracize all the men accusing Jesse of homopredation. Santner also described an incident where Jesse attempted grooming him to see if he was a homosexual.
Like there was one.
Why do they call it like this? Like, it's not predation. It's just two men that fucking like each other. I don't... Okay. I'm trying to think of a background color, guys. I'm sorry. That's what's taking so long.
One night, okay, I was all by myself. It was like late at night after I came home from work. I was in the kitchen, doing my own thing and stuff. And then suddenly there was Jesse appeared on the doorway, leaning against the doorway with his hand underneath his underpants. And he was like slowly massaging himself and was giving me a look. And I turned around and says, "What the heck are you doing?" And he was like giving me a smile and giggle and stuff, and then walked away.
Okay. Goddamn. All right. Wow. That was a... Wait, what? It's like, yeah. Bend over. Like, it's a fuck? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm being very immature, but let's go.
Another witness is Martin Francis, who's largely been leading the charge against Jesse's purported homopredation. He describes himself as one of Jesse's best friends. You may recognize Francis from a video with Jesse arguing with a Univision reporter at a Prop 187 rally in Los Angeles in 1996, a rally opposing the flood of illegal aliens entering the state.
Are you all right?
Are you okay? Oh, I'm feeling better than ever.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Are you racist?
Am I what?
What are you think of these people now? Why? Why you stay here?
Are you racist? Am I racist?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a racist. Why do you ask that?
But since learning of Jesse's dark secret, Francis has led several protests against Peterson's homosexuality outside of the Bond studio. Jesse was confronted by him several times this year and refused to address any of the accusations of him preying on young men at Bond. Here's a video of Francis from March, facing off with him at what appears to be the post office across the street from the Bond studio.
Wait, is this the video in the beginning where the fucking cat like hit while he was crossing the street? Yeah, I think this is. All right, let's go.
Oh, that's nice. He wants me to tell them how I was sleeping with my brother's wife. That's fine. But Jesse, why will you not speak on your homosexual behaviors?
Francis confronted him again in the back of the building with Armand Martikian in February, capturing it all on video.
Jesse Peterson, I've known you for 25 years personally. Will you come? See, he's not coming over to me.
Will you come? Bad choice of words, my friend. Bad choice of words.
Will you at least stand there where you feel safe and talk to me? Stand up on your porch with the door open and shout out to me. Why won't you talk to me? I've known you for 25 years. I've accused you of heinous things, and you will not talk to me.
What's so heinous about loving another man? Like, for real. Like, you loved another man's wife? Like, the fuck? Okay. All right. I'm being an asshole. Let's go.
You coward.
Francis admits there were also a few clues that should have revealed Jesse was a homosexual, long before he ever found out.
He wanted to see if I was willing to have a homosexual relationship with him, of course.
Wait, that's a big clue! What are you talking about? Okay. Fuck. All right, let's go.
That's what he was all about. He was about putting out feelers there and seeing who he could have sex with. And it didn't work with me because I had not been molested as a boy. And so eventually I told him, look, Jesse, I'm just an angry guy.
Wait, what? Why do you think that it... I'm so confused. Like, there are people who haven't been molested that just like penis. Like, okay. I hate to say it like this, but these are the people, and like, that thinks if they were in a situation where they went to like jail and they were assaulted by another man, they would feel like, oh my God, now that happened, even without my consent, that means that I'm bad or broken in some kind of way. That's not what that means, dog. Like, okay, all right, let's go.
And I don't like these long hugs and all this stuff we're doing, at night.
And did he stop?
Where he would come into my...
What did he mean? What do you mean all these stuff that we were doing at night? I'm so confused. All right, let's go.
Bed and just lay with me,
He would come into your bed and just lay with you?
Yes. And at one time even put his hand underneath my underwear to go toward my genitals, right? He never got there because he could see I wasn't getting excited. So he never got there. He just at the edge, because you got to invite the vampire in.
Wait, this is so... How do you not know that this is... How do you think, well, I suspected something? My man is literally trying to put his hand down your boxes. I suspected something. No, he wants some of that goodies. He want to show goodies, dog. Is it and the fact that you... Okay, and again, if it was grooming shit, which it sounds like it was, it's virulent and as virulently homophobic as these motherfuckers are, they're not... I think that's what it is. They're virulently homophobic, but they're acting as if Jesse was doing this to them, and as manly man as they claim to actually be, they allowed for this to happen. But when other people are because I don't want to victim blame. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to victim blame. But it's the fact that if something was to happen to somebody else, they would victim blame. And they would say, oh, you're not being man enough for this, man enough for that. They would do that. You think that they won't? They would do that. Or do they really believe that the reason why some of these people have, you know, not straight tendencies is because they were touched as a child? You cannot believe that. Was I touched as a child by titties? No. I just like titties. Okay, let's go.
What they say in the vampire movies is sort of true with even psychic vampires like Jesse. And so he...
Psychic vampires aren't a real thing. Like, oh God. Okay, let's go.
He would do those kind of tricks or put his hand around my back and up on my chest and be hugging and all that kind of stuff just to see if maybe I could get, and asking me if how does it feel, and it feels good, right, and all that kind of stuff, and I would meekly answer, yeah, it feels good, but only because when you're under that kind of pressure, you just give the answer that he wants, but you're really like wanting to get the heck out of there. You're like ready to fly out of there like a bat out of hell.
Jesse appears to have used every dirty trick in the book to silence him, allegedly trying to have Francis arrested for violating an unserved restraining order.
I will go back to Phoenix and chill out with the relatives like I was doing before, and I'll be back on the 25th.
25th, yeah. Yes. If it was already served, you had already seen it, you would be wanting to go.
Church militant asked every single victim and witness if they thought Jesse would continue sexually preying on men, and they all had the same answer.
Well, yeah.
Well, if you're a person of power and you are literally making it where they're not, like, again, a lot of this shit can be solved by, I don't know, letting people be who they are instead of saying that it's some moral sin or some grievous sin. Like, no, Jesse just likes penis. Like, what's the problem with that? What's the problem besides his hypocrisy?
Yeah,
I would say yes.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind.
There's no doubt that there's current victims.
I think for sure.
Jesse allegedly accuses these men of harassment, but some members of his own congregation disagree, like former Bond House tenant Fabian Asensio.
The harassing is just an excuse for, trying to shut people down. Bond has been a nonprofit church for all these years. He's lied and collected a lot of money from that church, from people.
Yes, now here is a actual credible thing. Lying to get money and fucking, defraud people of their money. Yes, this is an accusation that I can actually get behind. And why is this so far into the video? I don't know. But let's go.
People saying that, he's been a hidden homosexual. There's plenty of evidence for it. There's no reason for us to make up anything. So for someone to be out there in the alley and talking and trying to wake up the employees and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you still working for this liar? That's totally within our First Amendment rights.
Jim Valerio.
Oh, now you want to talk about First Amendment rights. But when it comes to a woman's right to control her own body, fuck the Fourth and Fifth Amendment, right? Okay, all right, let's go.
Longtime donor and friend of Jesse's also pushed back at his defenders.
And for those of you people who are still supporting this so-called fraudulent, hypocritical, serial predator homosexual, you are going to pay a price for that. That is a stain on your soul when you meet your creator.
For those of you who sit back and hurt your God's people, that's a stain against your soul. Like your God actually didn't want you guys to be evil towards other people, right? That's what your God said, right? All right, let's go.
Period. Cut.
This isn't even the first incident. Jesse was embroiled in a homosexual scandal in October 2020. After his Twitter...
Okay. This is the fun part. And they should have just led with this. Oh my God. They should have just led with this. All right, let's go.
Their account liked a gay pornography image. After the tweet was left up for hours, Jesse's account was immediately locked down and set to private. One caller on his daily JLP show broadcast tried asking him about it, and Peterson hung up on him.
Did you lock your Twitter account because you got caught liking a gay OnlyFans post?
Amazing. Do you think I handle my own Twitter stuff?
It didn't seem like he just hung up on him. It just seemed like he was just like, okay, Whatever. All right, let's go. Maybe Hank had the control of the account. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
Oh, somebody else did it? How come you locked the account?
None of your business. What? Are you a homosexual or something?
No, but it doesn't really
Why
matter.
are you such a beta man? What, you know all that stuff that's going on is not real, but you're being a girl right now. What making you be a girl right now?
There's nothing wrong with it, Jesse.
There's nothing wrong with you being a girl?
They were in.
Goodbye.
On top of...
Okay, that was a little sus. That was sus. Okay, yeah, let's go.
those we spoke to, there were several other anonymous alleged victims Church Militant was made aware of, who refused to speak with us per their devotion to Peterson and his so-called ministry. Jesse continues to deny his own actions.
Like, what the fuck is he throwing shade on this man's ministry? Him liking penis has nothing to do with what the fuck am I watching? Came in here late, first time here. Cool drawing, thank you. Oh, we're talking about how Jesse Lee Peterson is allegedly grooming people. I don't give a fuck if he's homosexual or not. I really don't care. As long as he's not grooming people. That's when I have the problem. But let's go.
To his congregants and his fans, shutting down any victims who stand in his way. For Church Militant Special Assignment, I'm Joseph Enders, Detroit.
You may talk about the men of Gideon, talk about the men of Saul.
All right, so wow, that was that. Okay, wow, that was interesting. I don't know what to say, man. Like that was kind of interesting. I wonder if D-Roy's gonna mention Jesse and his feeling of shit. I'm fucking up. His feeling of that he loved him some Jesse Lee Peterson. I just don't know. Like that's the funny part about it. I know, guys. A super Christian being hypocritical about what they do. I know. Otherwise, water is sticky. Anyway. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And this is, like I said before, I'm not making any prediction or predilection about Jesse being gay. I don't give a fuck. If he's gay, he's gay. I don't care. That's not my problem. If he's being predatory for other people, then that's the so only girls ask questions. Yeah, that's the problem. I have a problem with Jesse being predatory. And if he's being predatory, then that's what my problem with this man is. Like I said, I don't give a... I couldn't care even less about who he faps his penis to. Like, hey, more power to you, dog. It's Pride Month. Ironically, they did release this during Pride Month. I think it's more of a... He has a competing, like, fucking congregation. Yeah, no, that's the problem. And I think that's what a lot of this shit is. You're competing with you're competing with what I'm trying to do, and so I'm gonna tear you down. And yeah, I guess if this is your first time watching the stream, and as always, hit that like button so it can be shared out and all that other good shit. But yeah, that was weird.
If I gave myself the power, where would I be? Was I